How to teach ABCs to toddlers. Many parents wonder, is there some magic secret to it? Do I just sing that song, or is there more? I'm Nicholeen Peck. I teach parenting, good communication, and educational practices all over the world. And in this video, we're talking about teaching the ABCs the best way possible to toddlers. Toddlers can learn their ABCs. They can learn to read. I had children reading when they were 3 years old very fluently because we learned our ABCs early. This does not mean that we should put pressure on our children to learn their ABCs early, but it is possible. In this video, we're going to be talking about good ways to teach your toddler their ABCs. Toddlers like to do things hands-on, so some of the ideas that I have for you definitely relate to touching stuff, tactile things that toddlers can do to learn their ABCs. But don't forget the power of your example and your words as well. In this video, let's start talking about things that they can touch. One of my all-time favorites for teaching toddlers their ABCs are the puffy bathtub toys that are those letters and numbers. You can buy a kit that has one of every letter and one of every number, and they're all puffy. If they get wet, they stick to the side of the tub or they float around the bathtub. Toddlers love these. They're very interested in all of the different shapes. You can take the letters, stick them up around the edge of the tub and sing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so forth. And they can learn the letters. You can touch the letters and you can say, B says B, F says F. So you can get to sounds. You can say, oh, Clara. This C is for Clara. This is your letter, Clara. So then she can look at the letter and she can say, Cara, Cara, or Kaka, as she calls herself right now. When she holds the C, she knows that one is for Clara. That one's for her. That's my grandbaby. Also, we can hold up the letter M and say, this one's for Mama. And so then she touches it and says, Mama. That's right, that M means mama. So those bathtub toys are so good. They have to take a bath, like almost every day pretty much, right? Why not dump something in the tub that they can see for that repeat immersion with the letters? And don't forget to sing that ABC song. That's something that you do with your voice, but songs teach. The beautiful thing about the ABC song is it's the same tune as Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, which is a song that we all sing to our children anyway. At least here in the United States, most people do. So if you're learning little songs like The Wheels on the Bus and Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and Ba Ba Black Sheep and all of those types of little songs that we learn to teach our children rhythm and sounds and language, why not use the song, the ABC song as well, to teach those ABCs? But if you're smart, you'll be touching them at the same time. This is going to help with recognition, not just sound recognition, but also that visual recognition, which the toddlers really respond well to. I've got more ideas for you, but before we get to those ideas, be sure to click that subscribe button now. There are a lot of great videos on this channel about teaching your children certain behaviors, certain skills, and certain things that they will need to make learning easier for them as they embark upon their school years too. Another great tactile activity is, of course, making shapes out of Play-Doh. So Play-Doh or bread dough or cookie dough, you can make the letters out of dough. Toddlers love that. Roll them out into little snakes, cut them up, and make the shape that you would like to. And then why not cook them and eat them too? You could even frost them if you want to. Now, if you don't want to get into a full baking project, there is something else that you can do with food, which we have done many times with my children as I was teaching them their letters, and that was to play in cornmeal. Or you could use sand or some other powdery substance as well. So you take a container, maybe about the size of a book or more. It needs to be low profile, and you put cornstarch in there. You can sprinkle it thin or thick, your choice, but then you draw the letters with your finger. Now this also improves our dexterity. You can draw the letters and then say what they are to your child, and then over time you can teach your child to draw the letters too. Some of their favorite things to draw are numbers, like the number 0 or the letter O, and they also like to draw 8. That's really fun, or S, because they're so curvy and it's a little bit easier for them to draw those things. P's are sometimes nice too, because it's just a line and then a bump. And C's, of course, half of a circle. But teach them to draw the letters as they say the letters. So they might say back of a bear and a bump, right? B is the back of a bear and then a bear's head and his tummy. There's lots of times that I use imagery to teach children about the letters too. This also helps them learn which direction to read the letter and write the letter. If you start writing it while you're teaching the letter to them, then they don't get them backwards as often. I mean, unless they really have dyslexia, then you might have a struggle with that too. But like C, it's a cave. It's a little cave. You go in the one spot and then there's a little cave in there, right? And a U is like a upside down umbrella, right? U. There's a lot of different images that you can use to help your children remember what they say as they're learning to write them and say them at the same time. So imagery, super fun. When you are reading signs or books to your children, point out letters that they know, or maybe a new letter that you are working on. Oftentimes as a homeschool mom, I would pick one letter of the week. It would be like, this is M week. So we would read little stories that had mice in them, or mamas in them, or macaroni in them. We would read things that had words that would start with the letter M. Now, obviously, those picture dictionaries, they are alphabet dictionaries where you go to the letter N and there's a nest and nuts and all the N words, or you go to the S and there's a sailboat and a snake and all those things. Those are fun, but how cool is it to read a real story, and whenever mommy gets to the word mouse, like if you give a mouse a cookie, then every time you hit M, mom stops and points and says, oh, it's an M. And then you're learning little m and big M. And you say, for M, and they say, yep, M says, mouse, a cookie. So now they are helping to read stories and helping to read signs. Now there's a relevance there. I gotta know these letters because this helps me know what's being said, helps me know the stories that mommy is reading to me. So now it's even more important. This will help those letters, those ABCs, to stick for the child. And don't underestimate the power of the alphabet chart. Be sure to have an alphabet chart that has big letters on it and one that has the lowercase or little letters on it. Because as we're learning our ABCs, we want to learn the big letters, the capital letters, as well as the lowercase letters as well. While you're learning the alphabet, point to the letters everywhere you go, even in public. It's so fun to go to the store and try to find everything that you can on a store trip that starts with A. Maybe even take pictures of all the things that start with A. Maybe print the pictures at the local drugstore or something, bring them home and make a collage of all the things that you found that have an A on them or start with the letter A. Have fun with it. Draw pictures of things that start with the letter A as well, or color in pictures of apples, and then move on to the letter B. If you take it bit by bit, they will learn it. And then as you go to bath time and you revisit all the letters every time you hit back to bath time, then they will remember more and more of those letters because we've had a week of A, a week of B, a week of M, a week of C, right? And now when you say ABC, or you say, let's put up our letters, let's find the A. Where's the A? They'll be able to look and they'll notice the A. And then soon they'll be able to say, A says A and A when you touch it. There are other videos on this channel you are going to want to check out. If you like this video, then there are videos about how to teach the children to read. That's where you're going to next. I also have a lot of videos about teaching children how to control themselves, self-government. That's what I'm most known for. That's why this channel is called the Teaching Self-Government channel. It is possible to teach children how to follow instructions, accept no answers and criticism, accept consequences, and disagree appropriately. And if you teach them those skills, that takes care of 99% of their behavioral problems. I actually have children's books that teach those 4 basic skills to children. So if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to keep learning more. I think you will love my video all about teaching these skills to children called The Not So Known Secret for Parenting Success. I'll see you there.